Your health. It's been a few weeks since most schools made masks optional. So are doctors seeing more kids getting sick, or have flu cases remained low? Joining us now to talk about it, Dr. John Brancato from Connecticut Children's. Doctor, thank you so much for being with us.
My pleasure. Glad to be with you.
So tell me a little bit about what pediatricians are seeing. I know there was a big concern when that mask mandate ended. Are we going to see more colds? Are we going to see more flu cases? What are we actually seeing?
A little bit of both. Definitely not an explosion of either yet, I would say. Some more typical respiratory stuff, and we have seen a small but noticeable increase in flu cases.
Do you think that this is directly related to those masks coming off, or is it just the time of the year? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it has to be at least partly related to the masks, part because of what we saw 2 years ago, which was we had had a very heavy flu season during that winter in January and the beginning of February in 2020. And as soon as schools closed, masks went on, everything went way down, way below normal. And last winter, we had almost no flu because of everybody masking. So I think it's not unexpected to see some increase.
Now, the good news is it is getting warmer. More kids are getting outside. Are there still any concerns about the flu or cold at this point in the year? Is that something people still have to worry about?
Somewhat. So influenza, we know it well. We've been dealing with it for years, and the vaccine has been available for years. For most children ages 5 and up, influenza is not a very serious problem as long as they don't have any underlying illnesses. So children with asthma, of course, need to be more careful, and any other underlying disease. It's not too late, I think, to get the vaccine still, although I believe it's may not be available everywhere anymore. But now that the weather has warmed up a little bit, I think it should not rise to what we had seen in a typical winter.
All right. And before we go, any tips for families to stay healthy? I'm probably the last person that should be asking this question right now with a cold myself, but do you mask if you have a cold? Do you test for COVID? What are the best protocols to take?
So thankfully, at least for now, the incidence rate of COVID has really dropped, as everyone knows. I think we do know that masks work. So it's a courtesy thing, if nothing else, so that if you have a cold or your child has a cold, to encourage them to mask at school or at work, as the case may be. That's a nice thing to help limit the spread. And then what I have always told my own kids is wash your hands and don't touch your face.
Those are the two best things to tell kids and adults also. Dr. John Brancato with Connecticut Children's, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks.